Oh my God! Just move like nobody is around. Nobody is around.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome back once again to Vicious Rants. And of course, I'm your host, your YouTube messiah, and often imitated, never duplicated superstar Tim Vicious. And we're gonna go over pay-per-view this past Sunday. Great balls of fire. Sorry, I still have a hard time trying to not say that with a straight face. Great balls of fire. You know, say what you want, you know. Everyone fucking knew that Vince picked the name for this show because he thought it was fucking funny. Yeah. That's exactly what it was. So anyways, this show, overall score for it, I don't know. I'd give it like maybe a 7, I'd say. You know? I mean, WWE was so busy trying to hype up the fact that it's the very first one that, you know, it didn't really deliver on, it's a premiere kind of deal. But anyways, pre-show starts off with cruiserweight match, Neville versus Akira Tozawa, and this decent match, had nice fluid action in it. Wish we'd get matches more so like this on frickin' Monday nights, you know, instead of like all the frickin', you know, instead of like having matches that wind up having so many rest holds or like everyone trying to be like a frickin' spot monkey, you know. And I'm not knocking if a wrestler is being a spot monkey, no, far from it, you know. All I'm saying is put more action, put more fluid action into the match, you know. That's what I'm getting at more than anything. You know, there was nice, good back and forth on it. Wasn't a fan of on how it ended, though, because it was kind of a shitty way to end. What it was, Tozawa was picking up momentum. Just as it looks like he was getting ready to score the win, he goes up top. He's going up to the top. Neville winds up knocking him down. Boom! Makes him split the difference. Gets caught right in the ding-ding. And then, as the ref's going to check on him, Neville goes... boom, kicks the rope, knocks Tozawa down again, and then hits him with one of his spinning heel kicks. So that was it. And then 1, 2, 3. That was that. Now, did show later on Tozawa was going to Titus saying, "You represent me. You represent me. I want rematch. I want a rematch." So then they showed Titus saying, "All right. I'll go and work on it." So, there's that, you know. But honestly, and I think the big thing is, Neville has been working as such a phenomenal heel that, you know, and this saying goes true with anything, whether it's wrestling, comic books, movies, whatever. Your hero can only be as good as your villain. And Neville is as good of a villain right now. Neville is on a great level as a villain that I don't think there's a hero on that level to go and take him out yet. You know? Now, either way. Now we are on to the main show now. First matchup, Bray Wyatt versus Seth Rollins. And with the very first ever storyline on a pole match. Oh wait, no, I'm confusing fantasy with reality again. Damn it! Anyways, the big thing with this match was more so just trying to figure out what the storyline for this feud was. More than anything. Obviously, they showed some built up to it at Extreme Rules, but more than anything, it's like, what? Huh? You know, but yeah, I mean, it had a nice pace to start out with, you know, Bray, he was in control for the most part, but, you know, like I said though, it was more so like trying to understand. I mean, they kept expressing on the commentary that Bray's going after Seth because he said he was because of his past transgressions. I mean, really? You're going to use that? I mean, Seth's character is kind of evolving to the point to where now, and this is from, and, you know, My good boy and co-host of the Dad Show, Danny Sunday, even brought this point up. Seth's character now is at a point where, he's more so trying to atone for past sins, from being the guy that broke up the Shield, from being, being with the Authority, doing all that stuff. Now he's trying to make up for it and atone. And in a way, that makes a lot of sense. And Bray, don't get me wrong, love Bray Wyatt. He's a great character, great wrestler, but not understanding the reasoning here. Match came to an end when match wound up coming to an end. Seth started going into like a berserker rage, sort of just pummeling on Bray like crazy. Ref was going to pull him off. Bray, next thing you know, boom, thumb to the eye. That distracts him. Next thing you know, sets him up, hits him with the Sister Abigail, gets 1, 2, 3. Bray is the winner, which very much so shocking considering, normally they have Bray lose on the big matches. So hopefully this winds up putting him, excuse me, they're going to put him in the good graces of a title shot down the road at some point. Next matchup, it was Enzo versus Cass. And Enzo, I'll give him credit where credit's due. He did a really nice, phenomenal promo right before the start of it. Talking about on how, much like with Sinatra, he was flying high in April, shot down in May, he's going to get back up and all that jazz, Nick Cass came out, and this was, honest to God, it was very much so extremely one-sided. Cass was just powering over Enzo the whole time. Just, boom, smashed him down, clubbing him, threw him to the outside, and Enzo just barely crawled in. Next thing you know, picked him up, boot to the face. After that, 1, 2, 3, that was it. And I brought this up around this time last year when they did that 4-corner elimination match for the Universal title. Cass, that was like a proving ground for him, showing that he could run, Honest to God, I see big things for this guy, no pun intended, because he's 7 foot. But, I see a lot of big things for this guy down the road. He's probably going to wind up getting a good, I see a good run for him down as his career goes, Now, next matchup we got 30-minute Iron Man tag team match, very first of its kind. Hardys versus Sheamus and Cesaro. This right here had the potential to be match of the night, and honest to God, I thought this was a really great match. Now, match started out real quick. Cesaro and Sheamus, they did a looky-loo right on Matt. Cesaro went to do a running charge at Matt, slid out the way. Matt was like, what the? And then turned around, boom, got hit with a brogue. So, literally like 10 or 15 seconds into the match, Sheamus and Cesaro wind up getting the first fall. Match goes on, Matt's pretty much isolated into it. Next thing you know, they get the second one. Or not Matt, I'm sorry, Jeff is isolated during that whole time. And then they score a second fall, which now leads it to 2-0. Matt winds up getting a hot tag in eventually, and then winds up clearing house, and they Matt winds up hitting Cesaro with a twist of fate, winds up bringing themselves onto the scoreboard, the 2-1. And now Hardys, they were in control at like the 15-minute mark in, and then Matt wound up getting isolated and counted out, which brought the score to 3, which wound up bringing the score to 3-1. And on what that was, it was the normal, all, both teams going at it, hoopla sort of bit outside of the ring. And as that's happening, Matt gets knocked down and everyone else clears out, and Matt's counted out. So that's on how it wound up getting to that. Now, Matt wound up getting to the score 3-2 when there was 7 minutes left when Cesaro, he was pinned by Jeff, and on how that was, Matt wound up tagging in Jeff, hit him with a backslide, and then Jeff just came down, legs, wham, right on top of Cesaro like that. 1, 2, 3. That was it. Now at this point, it was really, everyone was trying to just, you know, Cesaro and Sheamus, they were really more so just trying to play the offense, like, alright, we gotta make sure they don't get a chance to tag each other so that way we can keep the lead. Matt winds up tying it though at the 2 minute mark when there was 2 minutes left, 3-3. And this was when it really broke down. It was like serious mayhem right here. Excuse me. It was 3-3 when Matt wound up hitting a twist of fate onto Sheamus from the top rope. That's on how they got the score. And at that point, it was like any man's game. Wound up on how it came to an end, though. Matt and Jeff, they wound up hitting Alright, yeah, now I remember. What it was, Matt tagged in Jeff. Cesaro did a blind tag to Sheamus did a blind tag to Cesaro. And Jeff did the swanton from the top onto get my words right. Fuck. Onto Sheamus, and Cesaro just shoved him off right off bat. Got a quick pin on him, 1, 2, 3. So now it was 4-3. After that, Cesaro ran out of the ring and had Jeff chase him around for like the last few seconds just to chew the clock, which that's great psychology right there. I mean, don't really see that much in Iron Man match. It's just somebody like, okay, yeah, now I'm going to keep my distance so that way you can't. But wound up, fuck, I'm sorry folks, I'm fumbling over myself faster than I normally do. But Jeff winds up catching Cesaro like 3 seconds left, hits him with the twist of fate. 1, 2, dang, time's up. So, Sheamus and Cesaro are your winners at a score of 4-3, So, hopefully, like I said, at some point this winds up leading Matt and Jeff to wind up being broken because they couldn't wind up winning the matches, Now, on to the next match, women's action, Sasha versus Alexa for the women's title. The nice feeling out right to start out with, and honest to God, said it before, Sasha, she needs to be kept out of the title picture for a good while now. Don't put her anywhere near the title for right now because she's still got that stank from her shit with Charlotte, from bouncing the title back and forth so much. It was just ugh. That's what that is more than anything. But, Alexa, she wound up getting control relatively quick after a while, targeting on Sasha's back, which, at this point it's pretty much obvious on there. But before that part, when they were doing this, when they were feeling out, gotta give credit where credit's due. Sasha wound up doing an arm drag onto Alexa, and Alexa, she acted like her arm popped out of socket again, which, honest to God, when you see that, just like, holy shit! Like, that's just fucking nuts that she could do that. Ref's going over like, whoa, you okay, you okay, you okay? And then Sasha, she's just like, and then Alexa comes over, boom! Pops her. And that's on how she wound up getting control. But after a little bit, Sasha starts to mount a bit of a comeback. And Alexa, she's just like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm out. And goes and takes a loss via the countout. Sasha wins via countout. Alexa is still champion. Not happy with the ending whatsoever. Far from it. But that is good heel psychology right there, Saying, you know what? I don't need to do this. I'm out. Fuck it. It's good heel psychology in that sense. Now, afterwards, though, as Alexa's walking away, Sasha comes over, starts beating her up, and then goes and does that double knee stomp onto Alexa from the announce table that's all the way up by the entry ramp. So, So afterwards, you see Sasha standing tall, yeah, and Alexa like, you know, getting put on the ass end of an ass kicking. You know, now next matchup we got is Miz versus Ambrose for the Intercontinental title, and Miz comes out with Maryse and his flunkies, bowing Axel, and right off bat when the match started, Ambrose, he was targeting Miz and the flunkies right off bat, like taking a shot at them, climbing out the ring, taking a shot at them, going in, going out, going in, going out, like that for a minute, which that really, you know, that really does make sense. It's good, you know, but yeah, not gonna lie, this was just no, you know, really, this feud is just kind of shit, you know. Really, honest to God, I'm hoping that after this match, they're done and they're both going on to different things, you know. But yeah, Miz was targeting Ambrose's knee at one point during the match, you know, and Ambrose somehow busted his mouth open. He was spitting out blood, and yeah, it was sort of, you know, but yeah, Miz was targeting his knee, you know, had him in the tree woe, doing the running drop kicks to it, soften it up, hit the figure 4 on it. Ambrose, though, give credit where credit's due, he was selling it good for a minute, but once he started mounting his comeback, it was like he was running around like it wasn't even targeted to begin with, you know. Really not a fan of when that happens, you know. Even if you're like getting that second burst, even if like you're getting your second wing, you should still sell it, like hobble, you know, limp, whatever, you know. But yeah, match wound up coming to an end when Axel wound up getting up onto the apron as Ambrose is getting ready to finish it up. He winds up tossing Axel in, and then the ref has to help Axel get out. Next thing you know, as Dean's leaning up against the ropes, Bo Dallas, boom! Elbow right to the back of the head. That throws Ambrose off enough for Miz to go over. Whew, hit him with the skull crushing finale. 1, 2, 3. That was that. So Miz won. Now we got Braun Strowman versus Roman Reigns ambulance match. And Braun right off bat powering over Roman real good, real quick. You know, Roman, he mounts a small bit of a comeback. Winds up at one point going and using a chair to go and target the shoulder that Braun had work on. But after like 2 or 3 shots, Braun's just like no-selling it like, and Roman's just like, fuck, and keeps trying to crack shots at him with it. And it's the point to where Braun just grabs it, throws it off, and then just starts slamming them, pounding them into hamburger meat, and then they start brawling up at the entryway like they were on the Go Home Raw, and eventually Roman winds up actually spearing Braun through the LED board, you know, much like in the same sense of via Cena versus Royroyd, you know, but yeah, after them two eventually got back up, Braun threw Roman into the ambulance, like up against it, not into it actually, and they started brawling right in front of it, like had a nice little bit back and forth action right in front of the ambulance, and match wound up coming to an end. Roman, he was getting Braun wobbly, next thing you know, going to size him up, running charge for the Superman punch. Braun moves out the way, and Roman actually lands inside the ambulance. After that, close the doors, and that's it. Braun wins. Picture perfect. Really liking on how they're building Braun. Really hoping that he gets put in the main event picture more so sooner rather than later. But however, after the match, Roman pops out of the ambulance, proceeds to sneak attack him, shoves him into the ambulance, drives off, and goes into the back, sets the ambulance up in one spot, and then puts it in reverse at ramming speed, and wham! Rams the back of the ambulance into a truck, into a production truck or something, and then just walks away. And it's to where everyone's like, holy shit, Roman, what did you do? You know, so basically we wound up seeing a babyface attempted murder on Braun, which I'm not going to bitch about the fact that you're having a babyface do heelish-like things because, in all honesty, we saw Stone Cold do the same kind of shit back in the 90s with the Attitude Era, We saw Stone Cold do this kind of stuff with the Attitude Era. Nobody batted an eye then. We saw Undertaker do this same kind of stuff with Vince McMahon when he was doing the biker bit. And same thing with Hulk Hogan. Well, actually, no. When he was feuding with Hogan when he was doing the biker gimmick, he was a heel. Sorry about that. But either way, we saw good guys do this kind of shit before. Nobody batted an eye. It's just, honest to God, and this is the problem, people are so caught up on the anti-Roman wagon that Roman could wind up spending the next 6 months performing, learning and studying technical wrestling and put on technical matches that could make, that would rival, like, some of the greatest wrestling matches of all time. That could go down in the history of it. But you're still going to have people bitching and moaning on him because of the fact that he's Roman. And that's the problem, But, yeah. But either way, back to the ambulance thing. After that, everyone's like, holy shit, get some help over here, get some help. You see Jamie Noble trying to pry the door open, he can't. And then they wind up doing some quick impromptu piss break match of Hawkins versus Heath Slater. Nobody really paid attention to that. Everyone was more so caught up with the video feed they had up of ambulances and fire trucks coming in, trying to get the door open to get Braun out. And next thing you know, they show the firemen come in, jaws of life going and prying the door open. And then you just see Braun, and you see them trying to get Braun onto the gurney. And Braun's just like, no! He's all beaten up, bloody looking, and hobbling and crawling at one point away from that. And, that's playing more so to his character being tough as shit, not being able to get busted out, not being able to get, can get knocked down but can't be kept down, So, very much so looking forward to seeing on how that outcome's going to be. Now, next matchup, we got the main event of the night. Samoa Joe, Brock Lesnar, Universal title match. Here we go. They announced Samoa Joe. Paul E. Heyman winds up going, asking for the mic to announce for Brock. As he's in mid-introduction for a ring announcement, Joe attacks Brock Lesnar, starts beating on him mercilessly, gives him a Uranagi through the German table, and then gets back in, and Brock, half out of it, like, I'm gonna ring the bell. And then right off bat, right then and there, boom, Joe's just on him, lightning quick, pummeling on him, and for a good bit. And then eventually Brock, he starts mounting a comeback, starts throwing some suplexes on him. But Joe winds up getting the Coquita clutch locked in at one point. Well, not all the way, but he gets it locked in. And Brock winds up getting, or not Brock, but winds up getting locked, winds up getting out of it. Hits Joe, counters it, slams Joe to the ground. And Joe winds up going to try and get at him, Nice, decent, quick back and forth movements. Like I said, this was the kind of match I was expecting because Joe with the Brazilian Judo, Muay Thai background, Brock with the Greco-Roman background and the fight and the suplexing abilities and all that jazz. These two guys can put on a hell of a match, and they did. But yeah, Joe, he was pretty much in control of 90% of the match. Now, on how the match wound up coming to an end, though, Joe, he did eventually get the Coquita locked in all the way. And you see Brock turning purple, fading down. He's down on one knee. going down like that. And then right out of nowhere, like somebody just hit him with a defib. Brock just rises up, just boom, gets up, sizes him up, hits him with an F5. That's the second F5 he hit him in during that match. After that, 1, 2, 3, that was it. Brock won, but barely and by the skin of his teeth. So hopefully what we're going to see down the road, we're going to get another rematch with these two guys, hopefully at SummerSlam. If not, Joe versus Brock at SummerSlam, Joe versus Braun, more than anything. And I know all the internet shit about like, oh yeah, the rumor is they're going to have Brock versus Roman there. Dude, take rumors with a grain of salt, okay? Rumors are rumors until it's 100% confirmed. Now, either way, that is it for this week's show, folks. So, like all normal, do not forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, go back, watch some of the other episodes. Look for me on my Twitter at TimVicious. Make sure y'all look for my other account, Tim_Vicious. I'm also on that Facebook unit, Tim Ash. Also, do not forget to check out The Dad Show. It's a lifestyle podcast, storytelling podcast, whatever kind of podcast you want to make it. You know, we only got one episode in, but we are working on it. You know, we had a little bit of a setback with trying to get scheduling. But details on that are in the description. Also, make sure y'all look for all of these cool-ass cats right here on the Twitter, Axel Mulligan. Make sure y'all check out Axel's newest project, Brit Wrestling Review, where they talk about British and European wrestling. Sunday, Segway, Simply Sabrina, Cranky Asshole, Aaron_Deborah. My executive producer and co-host for The Dad Show, Oliver Ben. Make sure y'all check out his music. It's on iTunes, Spotify, and such. Details on that are in the description as well. Make sure you also hit him up for one of these Ollie Ben shirts. Go show some love and support to the man. As well as my client Bronx bitch forever. And folks, like I always tell you, love me great, you hate me.
Hey, y'all ain't at work.
Fuck you.
What was an ass